Well, welcome to Canada, and boy, big challenge ahead, isn't it, Scott?
Oh, it's a big challenge, but I think, as I've said numerous times, I think the world of rugby needs this continent to be strong, and I think the more people that get involved and try to make this continent competitive at the world stage, the better the sport is, so it's a great challenge.
And it seems like that's what the challenge was, part of the lure of coming to the United States for you, wasn't it? Because I think a lot of people were surprised at your choice.
Oh, look, people who knew me and know what I stand for, and I'm probably not surprised. I'm probably an idealist. I think, and I've said for a lot of years that the game probably needs the US and Canada to be strong. We need an expansion of our game and a greater profile, and it's no point sitting back and pretending that you say something and not prepared to back it up. And so I put my money where my mouth is, really.
And what about getting to see the players for the first time? It's always an exciting time, but you're really just trying to absorb everything you can about them in a short amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, that's it, and I've come through some really professional systems prior to coming here, so it's probably an eye-opener in many ways, but you know where you are, and it's important then that you contribute to the game as a whole, and I think just to getting to know in the field, and that's a good part about the sport, isn't it? I mean, meet people from different parts of the world as well, and I don't profess to know everything in the world of rugby, so it's nice to hear other people's point of view, and that's good.
And in closing, would you feel a little bit of pressure that people see you as the Messiah, the next coming, that's going to solve problems right away? Or are you putting a pretty clear message out that there's a process before you start seeing some big success?
There's very few messiahs in the world anyway, isn't there? And look, I don't care what people think. I'm pretty clear on what I want to do and why I've come here. And at the end of the day, it's about setting up a place that's better than when you got here. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I think if I can leave a legacy that other people can build on when I finish is great, and it's you'll look back and say it's a job well done. So you can't look at it in just a specific term. You got to look at it in a longer term.
All right, well, enjoy your time in Canada.
I'll do that. Thanks a lot.
So Paul Emerick back in Canada again, and you alluded to it in the press conference, your first test match since the World Cup. It must have been very disappointing. A lot of people felt you were probably treated maybe a little unfairly and missed out on a pretty big opportunity.
Yeah, I think it's just a case of being a Tier 2 nation and being made an example of. I think it was the first sighting of the World Cup, but you roll with the punches, and I'm looking forward to getting back with the U.S. team and having a good tournament.
Under a new coach, how does that change things? You were under Peter Thorburn for a couple of years now. Scott, I guess all the players kind of holding their breath to see what's coming.
Yeah, from all accounts, playing in Wales and talking with a lot of my teammates and a lot of the Welsh players around there, his reputation precedes him. So I have nothing but great expectations for his coaching, and so I think it's going to be good, and hopefully I'm around for the next World Cup, but I know he will be, and I think he'll do well.
And what about playing in Canada? You seem to have some success in 2004 and 2005, some close games, and the gap seemed to be widened there. You think that's closing back down?
We'll see. It is a bit tough having a lot of coaches in a few years, and anytime you do that, it's kind of one step back, take a couple forward. So I think this year, we'll try and keep it close and get one or two wins. It's getting more and more competitive every year, so it's we just got to keep building and put our heads down and keep working.
Absolutely. Well, enjoy your time in Canada. So Will Skinner, it looks like you had a rough day on Sunday before you got in the airplane against the Barbarians. Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I feel all right now. A few of the guys are a bit jet lagged and a bit sore from the weekend with the Guinness Premiership final and the Barbarians game, which was a tough game, but everybody's looking forward to this tournament now.
What's the team culture like? You're bringing a lot of guys together for the first time on this England-Saxon squad. You just alluded it has been a long season. Is this a tournament that people are still looking forward to being involved with, though?
Yeah, very much so. Everybody's excited about it. It's a young squad. Everybody knows each other from playing with them previously, whether it's at their club or schoolboy stuff. So everybody's getting on well, and as I said, we are looking forward to it and relishing the competition that we're going to come up against.
And also checking the internet every day to see injuries, things like that. Some of you could be still going to New Zealand.
Yeah, I've been keeping one eye on that, but our main priority at the moment is this tournament. We've got USA at the weekend and then Ireland the weekend after, so we're focusing on that USA game, and hopefully that will go well for us.
Bit of a skier, I understand. So Canada, a place you're familiar with. How many times have you toured without your skis here?
No, this is my first rugby tournament out here. But when I came out here skiing, absolutely loved it. It was in Banff and Jasper, so it's a great place to come and stay, and I recommend it to anybody really.
Well, I hope you don't add too many more war wounds to your face, because you're looking a little rough on one side of it, but I hope those heal up, and enjoy your time back in Canada.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
So, Pat Riordan, it's been a busy spring for you. Now you're co-captain of Canada. You must be really pleased.
Yeah, it's definitely an honor. I don't really think too much of it, but and when the other guys start congratulating and stuff like that, it's pretty big. But it's a good group of guys, and I'm pleased and honored and to be a part of it, and let alone be the co-captain with Eddie. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. And
you had your first training session with Kieran yesterday, and I got the sense around the camp boys were quietly confident and pleased with the way things went.
Oh yeah, I think the boys were all pretty happy, pretty excited, right? It's sort of a beginning of a new chapter, I guess, if you will. And I think the session went pretty good, all things considered. First one together, lots of guys nervous, lots of guys trying to impress, getting to know each other again, new plays, everything like that. But all things considered, I think it went pretty well. And yeah, the guys are excited. Everyone's happy to see each other again. It was like a bunch of little kids Sunday night around the hotel, which is awesome, right? That's how you first build and block to a team, no doubt.
And what about the culture of this team, bringing in a lot of new guys? That's one of the jobs of the captain, is to make sure everyone's fitting in all right and blending into the team.
Yeah, I think, like we say, it's the first building block of a team, right? I don't think there's really much of a role for Eddie or myself to try and get guys to fit in, because guys are taking that upon themselves, and everybody knows each other fairly well, or knows someone else who knows each other. So yeah, it's a tight-knit group right off the bat, and I'm sure once we get a game under our belt and maybe a bit of a post-match, we're just going to get tighter.
2 years ago, Scotland, Canada playing right here in Ottawa, and almost fair to say that it was one that got away from Canada. It was a game you guys could have won. Not everyone that's here now was in that game, but you looking at that and saying, boy, that was pretty close, and maybe we've got the pieces to get this done?
Well, the pieces change, both our pieces and their pieces. That was a long time ago. We've all been involved in a lot of games since then. I think if we look back at that game, more than give us confidence of how close we were, it really reminds you of that feeling of when you do let them get away. And you can look at any game that they get away like that. So rather than looking at Scotland as a reminder of how we can play, it's more of a reminder of how much it hurts to let them get away, because that was one that was right in our grasp, and we let it slip. So I think that's the biggest lesson out of that one, is just the feeling afterwards. How it feels.
Sorry to bring up some painful memories there. Listen, enjoy your time as captain, and all the success with the guys on this trip.
Okay, thanks a lot, Doug.